Hey guys, Toast here. Welcome to another episode of Custom Kit. This is a series where you get to select every facet of a custom kit, including primary weapon, secondary, grenades, gadgets, and melee, and I'll discuss the different components, my preconceptions prior to using the kit, and then my experiences after having used it. Today's custom kit is courtesy of Nugget, or Nuget if you consider that his name has a space in it, who submitted the British-Zulu War Soldier kit. Nugget wrote the British-Zulu War Soldier. Primary weapon Martini-Henry Infantry, secondary weapon No. 3 Revolver, Gadget 1 Spotting Flare, Gadget 2 None, Grenade Frag, melee weapon Combat Knife. You're a regular British man who's just been drafted and is being sent to fight against the Zulu Kingdom. Use your standard issue Martini-Henry rifle to decimate infantry and your No. 3 Revolver to help you when you encounter an enemy but your Martini is empty. Your spotting flares will help your fellow comrades find and kill enemy soldiers by the light from the flare. Your combat knife is there for close quarter engagements in case your weapons aren't enough. P.S. Do you have either an Xbox One or PS4? Well, the Martini-Henry is a weapon that I've been using quite a bit lately, so I was happy to give this kit a shot since it changes up what I would normally run with the weapon. Also, to answer your question, I do not have an Xbox One, but I do have a PlayStation 4, I just don't tend to use it very frequently and usually only for exclusives. As always, let's discuss each of the different components of the kit and how each one influenced my tactics going into this, beginning with the Martini-Henry Infantry variant. The Martini-Henry Infantry is my go-to rifle lately when it comes to playing an objective-focused scout. It's one of those weapons where you can't be quite as aggressive like you can with the Gewehr M95 or the Russian 1895 Trench, because the Martini-Henry has a particularly slow rate of fire. However, when it comes to backing up your team, taking medium-range shots, and having confidence that you'll secure the kill if you hit the shot, it's really hard to beat the Martini-Henry. As you know, the Martini-Henry is unique in that it has a sweet spot where an upper or mid-body shot that does not hit a limb will guarantee a one-shot kill from 30 to 80 meters, as most rifles are capable of doing in different ranges, but the Martini-Henry also extends past 100 damage per shot up to a maximum of 112 damage between 42 and 68 meters. This means that even with the 0.9x limb modifier for the weapon, it's actually a guaranteed one-shot kill regardless of where you hit the target from 42 to 68 meters. No other scout rifle is capable of doing this. Now obviously the Martini-Henry is hindered by the fact that you have to go through over a 2-second reload after every shot. Because of these factors, I knew I wouldn't be able to play as aggressively as I often would with other infantry variant rifles because the follow-up capability wasn't great, but sticking with my squad meant that I could reliably take out medium and longer range targets while they focused on the ones that got too close. As for the secondary, I usually prefer the Revolver stop with the Martini-Henry because of its extremely fast deploy time and very high rate of fire. This makes a great secondary for following up on a hit from the Martini-Henry or quickly taking out a single target if it's a miss. While the deploy time of the No. 3 Revolver is fast, albeit not quite as fast, the rate of fire is obviously much slower, so it isn't as reliable if I need to follow up on a close-range hit from the Martini-Henry. It doesn't have as fast a single-target killing potential as the Revolver stop, but it does have a better multi-target potential since 2 shots is enough to kill a target at close range, and the weapon has 6 shots at its disposal. This meant that I was likely better off trying my best to swap to it before engaging a close-range target, rather than trying to take a shot with the Martini-Henry and then follow up by swapping. Moving on to gadgets, the Spotting Flare is easily the most teamwork-oriented gadget for the Scout class. If this isn't a gadget that you run with the Scout class, I recommend you start doing so. That said, I almost always have K bullets as my second gadget to help take out vehicles, particularly those that are already damaged but trying to get away to repair, so I had a feeling I was really going to miss those. I also usually carry light anti-tank grenades again to help with vehicles, so it was going to take a little getting used to having the extra infantry firepower but not any vehicle firepower. All told, I was excited to jump into the kit and see how the differences ended up affecting the way that I played. Now that's what I was anticipating based on the components of the kit, but how did it end up playing out? Overall, it was an enjoyable kit with most of my expectations being met, but some expectations being challenged which actually interested me. In the first few games using the kit, I couldn't seem to properly aim with the Martini-Henry despite my best efforts, so I ended up relying a lot more on the No. 3 Revolver than I had anticipated doing. Given its close-range power, I was actually extremely thankful that I had it with me, since I was missing a good number of easy shots with the Martini-Henry and would have been in a precarious situation with the Revolver stop, since many of those situations were against multiple enemies. I don't know if I would necessarily start carrying the No. 3 Revolver with me all the time, but for the sessions where I recorded this video, I was definitely glad that I had it. When I was hitting shots with the Martini-Henry, it was the beautifully powerful weapon that I know it's capable of being. I didn't mind the slow reload since I was often traveling with squad mates who would pick up the slack, and speaking of picking up the slack, a quick shout out to two of my friends Trotting Daisy and Macmillan UK who happen to be some of the best medics when it comes to revives and heals. As for gadgets, the spotting flares have always been and will always continue to be an incredibly useful gadget. When you use them on the objective or to clear the path in front of your team to make a push, they'll serve you incredibly well. As far as I'm concerned, they're an indispensable gadget for the scout class. That said, I did really miss not having a secondary gadget. Like I mentioned, I usually run with cablets, so I have some effectiveness against vehicles, so I had to exercise a lot more restraint than I normally would when I came across one. This was actually very difficult in the beginning, where I would often forget that I didn't have anything to use against vehicles and would end up getting shot as soon as I poked my head out. I hate feeling completely useless against armor, which I often felt while running this kit, but it is what it is and I tried to make the best of the situation. This ended up being a fun kit to use for the sake of the series, but not as practical for being particularly competitive in the game. Thanks again to Nugget for submitting this custom kit, and if you'd like to see one of your own custom kits featured on a future episode of the series, please leave a comment below with the details of the kit, and I'll select one for the next episode. If you've submitted one on a previous episode that didn't get picked, please know that it's still in the running, but always feel free to suggest a different one as well. If you see a kit in the comments that you think is interesting, please leave a thumbs up on it. If you liked the video, please leave a like, and if you want to see more content, please subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Toast, and I'll talk to you soon.